everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Sunday morning, afternoon or evening, across where we may be at. And today I am going to be talking about autism and language. It is a topic that recently got discussed in a podcast that I was watching, and the podcast I was watching is called Talk to Me Sis, and the episode was with Abby's mum Christine from Love on the Spectrum, with two other mums from the Love on the Spectrum program. And I don't want to come across like I'm being mean or calling them out or whatever, but the language they were using was absolute abhorrent, and I just don't agree with that as an autistic neurodivergent person. So I'm doing this as a way to address it and address the subject matter at the same time. So I do have my notes over here. If I can just get out my diary. Hold on. Oops. There we go. I've got my notes here. So yeah, I want to first talk about the language that they were using about Tanner. Tanner's mum was saying about that Tanner had done something without being prompted or instructed. That language to me is like he's mentally incapable of doing things without being prompted or instructed. It's like, oh well, usually he's prompted or he has to be instructed to do this or do that or act this way. And then she goes on to say about how he did it by himself, how he's able to be independent, which is great. But again, don't talk about us like we're children. We're adults. Tanner is 27 and a half years old. Like, don't talk about us like we're immature children or that we can't function. Like, it's really agitating to hear that the language is still being talked about like this. We're in the 21st century now, and we're having to still be talked about like we're children. It just really, really agitates me. And then again, Tanner's mum went to say about, oh, we've been having therapy with him for over a year about looking at me doing eye contact. Please, God, stop. Like, do not, this is to all autistic parents, neurodivergent parents, do not, please, God, do not let your children go through therapy where they're taught to forcefully give you eye contact. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, we don't need to give eye contact. A lot of us don't or can't give eye contact based on the fact that it's to do with our autism. Giving eye contact to me is extremely painful and physically makes me tired and very emotional. Like, if I'm forced to give eye contact 24 hours a day, it will kill me. Like, I can't do it. Like, I can do it for short periods of time and let myself look away, have a few minutes to myself, then come back if I'm able to process it into the further of the conversation. Do not force your children to go through therapy to do, look at me when you're talking to me. That's bullshit. Sorry, but that's bullshit. Like, you don't have to look at someone to show that you're listening. Like, looking at them should be enough. Like, you don't have to actually look at them square on the eye, or it's just agitating. And then again, another word that they were talking about was special needs. Please, God, are we still in this 21st, back in the medieval days where we're still hearing the word special needs? Autism, for the love of God, and disability is not special needs. Please, 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 if you've got someone in your family with autism, or in your workplace, or your friendship circle with autism or neurodivergency, please don't call them special needs. This really is another patronising, emphasising us. It's like, oh well, they're special needs, you know, they're different. No. Yes, we are different. Yes, we process things different. Yes, we act different. Yes, we come across differently. But for the love of God, we are not special needs. And then to go on to say that we are special needs mums. What? You are mums of neurodiverse children, or neurodiverse adults in this case. It does not make you special needs mums. Yes, you may be within the special needs community and the autism community. Sure, I can put my hand up to that and say, yes, you are. But to call yourself special needs mums, again, just clearly states that you are making people feel sorry for you, or you're saying, oh well, we're special needs mums, you know, we've got children on the spectrum. Yes, you have, but special needs is just such a emphasising word, patronising word. It makes us feel that we're children rather than the functional adults that we are and the independent adults that we are, and it just really does irritate me knowing that people still see us as special needs or disabled or non-functional was another word that I've heard, and no, please, God, please, stop. And, like, another thing they were talking about is having years of intervention. I'm sorry, what? So you basically want your autistic child, your neurodiverse child, to go through all these years of therapy and teaching and supports to help them function. But yes, I understand some autistic children are more severe than others, have more severe forms of autism. I'm not knocking that, but I'm saying not all autistic people need interventions or need therapies or need to be put through behaviour therapy or any. It's wrong on so many levels. Like, I can't even begin to say how frustrated I get, because putting a autistic person through interventions is just cruel. It's like the ABA therapy, it's the CBT, it's things that you should not be doing. Like, it's wrong, it's cruel. It's basically saying you want your autistic person to conform like a dog or conform like a pet. They're not your pet. They are your child. They are your adult. Treat them that way. Don't treat them like they're something to be fixed or made better, or there's someone that has to conform to society, because society, we're not made to conform to. Society should conform to us, and unfortunately it doesn't, because society thinks that we're broken or damaged. Unfortunately, that is a stereotype that has been around for dozens and dozens of years, and it isn't seeming to be stopping anytime soon. This kind of language is very harmful to the disabled, autistic or neurodiverse community. It's very patronising, and using the special needs language again is something that we just shouldn't be doing. We should be accepting people for being their different selves and, helping to support them. And, and Tanner's mum then goes on to say, we wondered when Tanner was born if he would ever make eye contact. What is the problem with him not making eye contact? Please help me out here, because I don't understand why you are so focused on eye contact. What does it matter? Like, I can't give eye contact to save my life, and I don't give a shit if I don't give eye contact to people. Like, people will accept me for me. If they don't, move on. Like, I'm not going to give eye contact. You shouldn't force your autistic loved one or your autistic friends or autistic work colleagues to give you eye contact. It's wrong. It's physically draining for the person to go through it. It's emotionally draining for the person to go through it, because then they end up being sick at the end of it. It's just not right. It's just wrong. And, it's uncomfortable, it's not practical, and basically to say that you need to have interventions to help this kind of thing, like, what? And then Abby's mum, Christine, says about some autistic people having expressive language disorder. What? That is extremely dangerous thing to say. Like, and then she says about that some people are level 1 autism who have a scrambled brain. Like, that's not the most correct way of stating about people with autism, is it? Like, not all of us are going to be level 1, level 2, level 3. I understand the American medical model suggests that we have 3 levels of autism, which is completely barbaric to me. I don't agree with it. I think it's completely individual, and it should be completely individual to the person that has the autism and is diagnosed with the autism. And then she says that we have affective autism, and we struggle to have the ability to stay on track. Not necessarily. Not all people with autism will struggle to stay on topic. Like, for me, I stay on topic by having my scripts, so that it helps me to guide through what I want to say and how to say it. And then it says the core of autism and how it can affect you. Yes, I can understand autism does affect families differently, individuals differently. I'm not trying to misplay that or play that down, but autism doesn't really affect people. It's a case of understanding, adapting, educating, teaching, being the person to be there to support that person through their life, through the challenges they may have, the struggles they may have, and making the best of what it is. And then she also says autism is confusing. Yes, I can kind of see where she's coming from with that, but again, it's a case of, I don't necessarily think autism is confusing. It's the way that you process the person around you. It's the way you process their language, their capability, their mental capacity. I think we have to be very, very careful when making sweeping statements like that, because again, you're boxing everyone into one box, and it isn't necessarily the truth of it. And then she goes on to say autism isn't a gift. what? Like, autism is a gift. It's a neurological difference. It's a neurodevelopmental difference. It's how we see the world, communicate with the world, see the world, feel the world, think the world. Autism is a gift. It's a different way of being. It's a different way of being outside of the non-neurotypical box. It's about seeing our brains for what they are, which is magical, special. You know, we have abilities to communicate. And then they go and talk about new behaviours. What? These are not new behaviours. Like you said about Tanner having this new behaviour of being able to communicate with people. It's not a new behaviour. It's a self-taught coping mechanism where we teach ourselves to communicate properly, because the world, unfortunately, wants us to be these people who are constantly communicating, constantly being in front of people, constantly being around people. And if we seem to act a bit not ourselves, or we seem to be a bit quiet or withdrawn or mute, or, you know, oh, what's wrong with them? They're being a bit weird, aren't they? Like, no, it's not us about being weird. It's about the fact that we have different thought processes, different feelings, different emotions, different things that we go through on a everyday basis. And to say things like, it just, to me, it just seemed very unnecessary to use that kind of language. And, you know, and like using terminology like everything has changed when the person's born. Yes, I can understand when the person is born and when they find out later in life or earlier in life, depending on their diagnosis time, that they are autistic or neurodiverse or other disabilities. You know, of course things are going to change for you. I understand that, but to imply the tone with like such a kind of sad emphasis behind it, you're like, oh well, everything has changed. Like, no, it's still your child, it's still your adult. Because they've got a diagnosis does not mean that anything has to change. It just means that you're going to have to adapt and make routines and different situations more easier for them to help them succeed in a world that doesn't want them to. And it's just about how we care for them people and how we support them people like myself who are in fact autistic and neurodivergent, you know. And then they talk about the level 2 autism population. Again, this is based on the American medical model of society, and labels again is another thing I don't really agree with. We have to be so careful when it comes to talking about the American model and the labels and the levels, because every person on the autistic spectrum is different. We all have a different way of thinking, feeling, seeing, interacting, being around people, showing people our full autism, showing people or disclosing our autism at all to anybody that wants to know. And, you know, we have to be protective of ourselves and guard our hearts a little bit, because again, a lot of people on social media are very cruel when it comes to autism. They like to say that, oh well, you know, this person's faking it, or, you know, oh, they can't really be autistic, they function, they talk, you know. And it's just like, well, hold on a minute, no, like, we have to stop separating autism as levels and start treating the autistic people that we're all the same, together in the same community, because we are, but not all the same when it comes to obviously our autism. Everyone's autism's different, we experience the world differently, but again, being very careful with the labels. And then saying things like the smart brain autism, like when I looked it up on Google, smart brain autism was defined as high functioning, which is what I am. I don't agree with that really, because smart brain autism to me kind of implies that we have to be this smart person all the time. We have to be this person who can't do no wrong, and we have to be this person who's successful and well mannered and well functioning, and it's just, no, it's too much pressure. And then I researched it a little bit more. It says autistic individuals who are known to be smart brain autistic have high intelligence, with studies showing over 40% of autistic people are high achievers. They have a unique brain functioning. MRI scanner machines have shown that we have structural brain differences when on increased pressure. We have a local processing brain, which leads to more information than the neurotypical person. We are more detailed. We have an exceptional memory for pattern recognition. Like, again, we just have to make sure we are inclusive when it comes to being around autistic people, how to best support them. And, you know, and yes, like she did mention about, you know, trying to support Abby through her recent breakup and stuff. And I'm saying that when autistic people go through a really upsetting time, for me, it's been through when I lost my nan, my grandma, my grandfather. You know, I've lost a lot of people in my life, so grief has played a major part in my life for the last little few years now. So I can understand why Abby's feeling heartbroken and upset and questioning things, because we don't know how to feel about that until the time comes, or when the time has passed and we're recapping certain things and we go, oh, we didn't like that. Oh, what's that about? Why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling that? And again, we have to be careful that parents, as well-meaning as what they are, before people jump at me, autistic, non-disabled parents of autistic children, autistic adults, neurodiverse adults, we have to be so careful that you don't overspeak for us or don't over-advocate for us, because again, we do have a voice, we do have a say, we are able to stand up for ourselves. Yes, not all of us are fully fluent like I am in my language and abilities to self-regulate and come across really well, but again, it's important that you take that initiative to let us have our own speaking terms, our own abilities to support us, rather than just be like, well, my child and my adult does this and this and this and this and this and this, and it's like, well, hold on a minute, yes, I know you're trying to help us and advocate for us and protect us from being hurt and, you know, made a mockery of on social media, bullied, targeted, etc. I get that, but we all have to come together and kind of realise where the boundary is, because there's only so much advocating you can do as parents to protect us. Social media is not very kind to people like us at the best of times, but if you keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and speaking on our behalf, some of us don't want you to speak for us on our behalf. We want to speak up for ourselves. And I appreciate that parents do try their best. My family do try their best. I'm not attacking anybody. But again, we have to be so careful when it comes to how much you defend, how much you speak up for us. Because again, social media, oh, why can't they speak for themselves? Oh, you constantly speak up for them. You constantly do this and this and this and this and this. And I can understand where her mum was coming from, where the other mums on the spectrum were coming from. But again, we just have to be careful that we don't become a nation of not letting autistic people or neurodiverse people have that experience for themselves, and you know, talking about us like we're babies or we're little children when we're not. So I hope that this video kind of explains why I got slightly offended by it, but I will link the episode down below in the video description, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.